ojos rasgados con la tierra en las manos. Venimos con el mundo y venimos con su canto. Vengo a construir.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello and welcome, everybody. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. We're glad to have you with us on 2K Sports. And in our matchup tonight, we'll see the Portland Trail Blazers going up against the Miami Heat. Looking at Miami, they're looking to come out strong and make their mark early. They have to look at this game as a great opportunity to do just that. And guys, before he got hurt last year, we saw vintage Chris Bosh. He became a bigger focus without LeBron. We got a reminder of just how dominant he can be, Shaq.
Yeah, he got back to scoring over 20 a game for the first time since leaving Toronto. You know, he provides an offensive presence inside and out. I just hope he's healthy to play the whole season this year.
Yeah, he
Headlights zipping through the bustling streets of downtown Portland. It's NBA basketball on 2K Sports. We're glad you could join us on this exciting Friday night matchup. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony with Doris Burke on our sideline. Here in Portland, we have an interconference matchup with the Blazers looking to create some cheers for this home crowd. So here's Miami's starting group. Dragic is joined in the backcourt by Wade. The big men are Bosh and Whiteside, and it's Dang in at the three. Davis, and he goes in for the dunk.
And guys, he saw his chance to earn a little camera time there and took it.
Rocking the rim with some major force.
lazy defense there, though, fellas. Somebody's got to be willing to put their body on the line and try to impede his path there.
And for Goran Dragic, so incredibly efficient on the offensive end over the last couple years, whether with Phoenix or Miami, he's really upped his game.
You know, Kevin, it took him a few years to kind of get comfortable in the NBA, much like the great Steve Nash, who had his struggles early in his career. Now the game is kind of slowed down for him. He's not forcing as much, and it has certainly paid off.
Aminu misses.
That's really too easy a chance to miss, guys. He needs to be more aggressive and focused on his finishes.
Wade misses. On defense, the Heat. Lillard outside. To the middle. Here's Aminu. Good. Great play by Lillard to set it up. Aminu's got his first points of the night. Miami's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Here's Wade. Lays it in without an inch of room around him.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need him.
Now here's Henderson. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
Now, here's Lillard, following the miss by Chris Bosh. Pass to Aminu. And about 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. Back to Lillard, uncovered. And it's Miami with the rebound. Wade with it. Al-Farouq Aminu covering. Stolen by Henderson. And he finished it off with a lay-in. Henderson's got his second bucket of the night.
Well, that's why they're on the lead. Aggressive play at both ends. Very nicely done there.
Absolutely. They make the steal, pay dividends instantly on the fast break.
As magical as the 2014 playoffs were for the Blazers, remember they beat Houston in that first round, that great shot by Lillard late to win it and move on. 2015, not as much. You know, Greg, they drew a very tough Memphis team, as you recall, in the first round.
Yeah, you often talk about styles making fights. Very similar in this series. They were going to drop the first 3 games before, but still a good shot for a team that struggled mightily down the stretch with injuries.
Dishes it to Aminu. To the paint. It's deflected. Here's Lillard. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
And, you know, just as you said, Portland didn't have enough to get by the Grizzlies in the first round. Ended up losing in 5 after taking 1 game, and that was game 4. Just had a hard time breaking down the Memphis defense.
And the Heat making a change here. Amari Stoudemire is checked in for Whiteside. Winslow comes in for Luol Deng. Green is checked in for Dwayne Wade. And it's Chalmers in for Goran Dragic.
Another loss for the Blazers when they were the 4 seed, as you mentioned. As a franchise, they have lost in the first round every time they have ended up as the 4 seed. Not exactly a good position for them to be in.
Chris Kaman is checked in for Portland. Leonard comes in for Davis.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
The Trailblazers making a switch here. McCollum's checked in. Trailblazers leading by 6. Here's Lillard, and down it goes, jamming that one home.
And how about a little bit of shine shift there as he increases the lead?
Oh, I like that. That's got to be, though, a tough pill for the defense to swallow.
Well, he's a guy that you know can hurt you with his passing, and right there, he does some damage with his finishing, too.
And here's Aminu following Chris Bosh's 3. Here's Kaman. Can't get it to go. Stoudemire with the defensive effort. Feeds to Winslow. Knocks it loose. It's stolen by Aminu. And again, Portland running the court in transition. Lillard misses.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
And so here's Portland. And Lillard gets double teamed. Aminu dishes to Kaman. Trailblazers moving the ball around. Fades and shoots. And good work on the boards. They pick up the second chance points. Kaman's got his first bucket in this one.
And Chris Kaman, guys, signing with the Blazers last season, he's had big contracts before, but told his agent, hey, let's focus on getting a winning situation.
Here we go, one more time. Give it up for your Blazer dancers. The Heat trail by 4. Now Chalmers. That is good.
I'm not sure who was supposed to be on him that possession. I mean, apparently neither did the defenders.
So timeout called here, the first for Portland. And one thing about Mario Chalmers last season, he really had to play a different role. And it took him some time, Greg, to get used to.
Yeah, anytime your team loses a superstar like LeBron James, other guys get asked to do a little bit more. Mario was asked to be more of an aggressive scorer, a role that isn't so easy to jump into after 6 years of being that 4th or 5th option in the offense.
Now here's McCollum, guarded closely. And that is good.
You know, going back to Mario Chalmers last year, guys, I mean, having to take on more of a scoring role was tough for him. His field goal percentage dropped 50 points from the season before. His three-point percentage dropped even more. His assist numbers were down. Well, I bet you part of that was the fact LeBron was no longer there.
Kaman sets a screen for Lillard. And Lillard gets double teamed. Here's Aminu. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Lillard. Aminu's got his second bucket of the game to go.
His shooting percentage is really solid so far, fellas. Good start to this game for him.
And on the topic of Chalmers, you know, he's a complimentary player. He can be up, he can hit the open three. He's been known to hit big shots, a solid finisher, and that is valuable. But when you ask him maybe to do a little too much, then you're not playing to his strength.
Out of bounds, Portland takes possession.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
Vonleh's checked in for Chris Kaman. Portland leading by 8. Here's Lillard. To the left wing. Near the three-point line, it's McCollum. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. And it's on its way from Chalmers for 2. The basket's coming early and often in the first quarter. Portland out in front. They lead by 8. From Portland. We're back in a moment. now a chance to hear from Chris Bosh.
I was obsessed with the NBA as a kid.
What a great cut from Chris Bosh. That's the kind of guy you can't help Greg but love for his attitude and ability to be, you know, in touch with that kid he once was. I know you played the same way. Chris Bosh is living the dream like you did and loving it.
That's a great point, Kevin. And I think most of the guys in the league feel that same way. I mean, they may not be able to say it or articulate it as smoothly as Chris does,
sure.
but inside every NBA player is a kid who's still thrilled to wear the uniform and play the game they love.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. What do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Trailblazers?
They pounded the ball inside in the first half, forcing the D to collapse, and that frees up the shooters going forward.
Something else they've done right so far from the get-go tonight is run. I mean, so much of their offense has come off the fast break.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On the floor for Portland, Damian Lillard out there with Henderson. Then there's Al-Farouq Aminu. Then there's Vonleh. And it's Plumlee in at the 5 roaming the paint.
Most any NBA player can make you pay when you leave them that wide open. That's why you have to stay alert on defense.
Got that one up quick. 8 points for Goran Dragic.
And fellas, in this quarter, he's improved on what was already a very good performance in period number 1.
Well, you look back at the 2015 Heat, and the injuries are what probably brought that team down. We can go from Chris Bosh with the debilitating blood clot on his lung and on and on and on. The loss, of course, which was not an injury, of LeBron James. There are a lot of moving parts with that team.
And that's a great point, Kevin. If you take any star off of teams, things are going to get difficult. It was impressive that the Heat still managed to stay competitive once Bosh went out.
Chris Kamen's checked in for Vonleh.
They're getting a bunch of their points outside of the paint. 3 of their last 5 buckets are from three-point range.
The defense is just not closing out quick enough.
Now here's Henderson. He has 7, and it's Dragic with the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. Here is Plumlee. 4-point game. Lillard, the pass to Plumlee. Here's Kaman, and it's blocked by Whiteside. That's good.
Hard work on the glass once again, fellas. They put a lot of effort into their rebound.
There's a reason why they have 3 seconds in the lane, and that interior play has made a big difference in this game. You have got to make some kind of a defensive adjustment here. He is just lighting them up from beyond.
Greg, I don't know what else they can do. I mean, even when they've closed out on him, he's still been knocking them down.
And here's Henderson after the three-pointer from Goran Dragic. Out of bounds, Miami takes possession.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Davis is checked in for Portland. The pass to Day. There's the 3, and the Heat, another 3.
12 straight points off of three-pointers, and the D looks shell-shocked.
And guys, now that they're rolling from out there, the defense has to really get up into them. You got to almost be in their jerseys to try to deny those looks.
And it was a very public falling out between Goran Dragic and the Suns front office. That was a real tense few weeks there before ultimately he was traded.
Boy, what a significant turnaround here in the second quarter after only making 40% from the field in the first.
Davis with a screen on Day. And Aminu kicks to Anderson. And the rejection by Stoudemire. There's the triple. And Dragic gets it to go on the assist by Day. Now it's a 5-point Heat lead. And, of course, Dragic was traded to Miami last season. Said he felt betrayed by the Suns front office, which spurred him wanting out of Phoenix in 2004.
Yeah, you know what? We'll never know the whole truth about that situation, but Dragic said they told him one thing with personnel, and did something else.
C.J. McCollum, he's checked in for Portland. And then for Miami, Chris Bosh is checked in for Stoudemire. Green comes in for Dwayne Wade. And it's Chalmers in for Goran Dragic. And Portland making a change here. Leonard's checked in. And Miami with a change here, too. Winslow's checked in. Faded away to create the space. Green's got 7. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for the Heat.
Well, you have to admire their intensity in the paint defensively. I mean, really contesting and even blocking shots. Definitely a factor early.
And also, how about the fact defensively, they're getting that backboard and getting out in transition, especially in this first half.
Goran Dragic is checked in for Miami. Over to the left wing. Here's McCollum. And just miss after miss right now.
Boy, they just cannot take the lid off.
Well, they need a basket in the worst possible way, and they've got to stop this run, and the only way you do that, you got to score yourself.
Lillard outside. Leonard with a screen on Dragic, and Damian Lillard with the jam.
And that's some inspiration. Steals, blocks, and a big dunk. Those are ways that you can really change the momentum in a game.
Well, they got to chip away, Clark, at that deficit, and no doubt that'll help.
And that's what he's out there for, guys. I mean, he is an electrifying player, no doubt.
Seems every season, Clark, you hear the same thing. Portland Trailblazers had to deal with some tough injuries.
Kevin, it appears as though it might actually be a curse. I don't like to use that word, but the history of this team and injuries is as unique as any in the league. Last year, no different.
Trailblazers trail by 10. Leonard with a screen on Dragic. Lillard attacking. Shoots from 8. And it's Miami with the rebound. Whiteside's got his 3rd rebound on the night. From deep, Green, and he gets the bucket. Green's got 10 points.
Boy, have they gotten hot here in the second quarter. No wonder they're in front.
I don't know if this field goal percentage is sustainable, but if they can stay close to what they've done in shooting the ball, they'll run away with this one.
And Portland has possession. Heat knocking down the tray. That's good, and the Heat lead is cut down now to just 11 on the bucket from McCollum. The Heat shoot has been just outrageous, 64% from the field to this point. Here's Dragic from outside. That's good. Dragic has got 26 points.
There's 6 points on consecutive 3 balls. They're finding holes in this defense.
Yeah, no doubt the defense had better play a little tighter.
And the basket by McCollum.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here. I don't think they can ask much more of him than what he's done this quarter.
Lillard against Dragic. Lillard attacking, and he uses the glass on the layup. Lillard's got 9.
And that's not nearly the kind of defense that's going to prevent a player of his ability from scoring.
Here's Dragic from outside, and oh, he hits the buzzer beater.
How about that one? A perfect finish to the half for them to tack another 3 points onto their lead.
And we've reached halftime in this one. Heat lead by 15. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Dwayne Wade. And Dwayne, what about your defense do you need to sustain here into the second half?
Well, that's what's going to win this game for us. You know, it's a good offensive team. We can't give them a second 10 points. We can't come out in the second half and turn the ball over. So if we're going to win, it's going to be on the defensive end.
Dwayne, thank you, guys. He knows the job is just half done.
Thank you, Doris. And we'll be back for the 3rd quarter of action following halftime.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. We've been watching a pretty lopsided game through the first half, that's for sure. I'm Ernie Johnson, joined again by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Goran Dragic has been the story in this one. He ended up with 2 points, 2 assists, and 1 rebound. There was a lot to like about his first 2 quarters in this one. Kenny, let's start with you. What'd you think about the Heat?
Well, they went downtown and threw a party.
And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is about to get on.
back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. You have to like what we're seeing from Goran Dragic.
And the thing I noticed most in that first half was his offense. He was not wasteful with his opportunities and also did a great job of converting with the chances he had.
I agree with you, Greg. Judicious shot selection. All of his looks were good looks.
On the court for the Heat, Wade and Dang are the 2 and 3. The big men are Bosch and Whiteside, and it's Dragic in at the point guard position. Here's Dragic. Passes it to Dang. The 3 from Bosch. That's good. Bosch has got his team on the board first here in the second half for the Heat.
These defenders are putting up very little resistance to the three-point shot.
And it's killing. 4 of the last 5 makes coming from long range. And we always talk about making your teammate better. That assist was right on target. And guys, what I like about Damian Lillard, very decisive with the ball in his hands, always in attack mode. He keeps it hopping, and he has a killer instinct in the clutch.
And it's sent back by Bosch. In transition, here comes Miami. Near the three-point line, it's Wade. That's in, coming off an assist from Dragic. Dragic has got his 3rd assist on the night. And for Lillard, he keeps the ball moving, as Greg was talking about. And Clark, he keeps his teammates involved.
Very proficient in the pick and roll, understands the nuances of looking at weak side defenders and getting to the free throw lane for the roll man. He knows all the tricks to make that pick and roll really successful.
Got that bucket in no time at all. And it's 9 points for Chris Bosh.
And that's sort of been the story here today, hasn't it?
The Miami Heat came up short last season in hopes of getting back to the playoffs, but their road record didn't help them much.
Yeah, 17 and 24. I don't think you can be that far under 500 on the road and hope to play in the postseason.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over.
And how about for the Heat having the best road record of any team that didn't make the postseason in the East? But as you said, struggling on the road will sink a team battling for a playoff spot.
A different look for Miami. Stoudemire comes in for Hassan Whiteside. And it's Chalmers in for Goran Dragic.
You know, one final note, guys, on the Heat and their road losses. They ended up going only 2-8 in their last 10 road games of the year. That was a big part of how they fell out of the 8th playoff seed. Solid work on the back end of that play.
Yeah, finished hard with 2 hands on the stuff.
Yeah, nothing extravagant, guys, but again, no need on that one.
Wade gets the bucket.
And they clearly are just destroying this group right now from the three-point line.
Yeah, and the defense knows it. I mean, they are fully stretched out trying to stop the three-point shot and still haven't been able to do it.
And Luol Deng gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. And Portland making a change here. Vonleh's checked in. Lillard outside. And that one's good by Henderson. Henderson's got 9 points.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
And, Greg, those looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
20 feet out, and it's Miami with another.
And they've really come out of halftime with the eye of the tiger. Plenty of fire in their eyes and tremendous focus and intensity.
Knocked away. Here's Chalmers, and the layup falls. He's got 6.
And an open path to the hoop there. Easy bucket. We've seen that far too many times today.
Aminu dishes to Plumlee. There's the feed to Aminu. Wade against Henderson. Here's Plumlee. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Mason Plumlee will really put it on you. Tough, hard-nosed player, has the size to bang and the athleticism, GA, to run the court.
And it's interesting, Kevin. His game translated better as a professional than maybe as a collegiate. I mean, he's a guy that's a lunch pail kind of player. Rolls up his sleeves, focuses in, and willing to do the dirty work.
Excellent point about the comparison college to pro. I think you're right on. For Portland, they've gotten 4 of their first 5 second-half shots to fall. 80% since the break. Stolen by Chalmers. The 3. And the Heat, another 3.
And really, as the three-pointers keep dropping, you get the sense that the frustration is mounting for the defense.
Yeah, and they either have been unwilling or unable to take that shot away.
Lillard against Chalmers. Kicks it to Aminu. Here's Vonleh, and it's sent back by Bosch. And here we go. Fast break. Wade's got it.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
A different look now for Portland. Chris Kaman is checked in for Plumlee. Leonard comes in for Vonleh. And it's C.J. McCollum in for Gerald Henderson. And Miami with a change here, too. Green, he's checked in for Chris Bosh. Here's Kaman. Makes it off the glass. Kaman's got his 3rd basket of the night.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
And, you know, it doesn't matter how good your defense is on the perimeter if you're going to allow easy ones inside like that.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
Wade brings the double team. The dish to Lillard. There's the triple. Green with the rebound.
And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
No problems knocking that one down. And that's now 17 points for Wade.
Having a lot of trouble stopping the three-point shot.
And they're not making up for it with their own shots from deep either, so that's a double-edged sword there.
You know, as soon as he recognized the height mismatch, he immediately pulled up for the jumper.
And, Greg, that's just good basketball. Come on, good basketball there. A clean look from that range. He's got to take it.
And for the past few seasons, Portland's bench has really been their Achilles heel. I mean, last year they showed some improvement. The reserves play stole the game for them on more than one occasion.
Oh, yeah!
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
And that replay sponsored by Kia, the Kia Slam Cam, giving us a great look at that one.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
And I love the mentality that they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing it. They're moving it side to side until they finally get the one they want.
And it's on its way from Chalmers for 2. And there's another one for the Heat.
That one was solid. There's a big difference in the field goal percentages between these two teams here in the second half.
And, Greg, that difference has come about because we've got one team moving crisply, getting good shots, and the other is just kind of stagnant.
Stoudemire kicks to Chalmers. And it's Dang at the elbow. Heaves it up. The shot is off. And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. Heat out front, just dominating this one. And do not go away, as we'll be back in just a few moments with the start of our fourth quarter.
Alarms go off when I enter the building.
Joining us, let's see what happens here in the fourth. They've got Vonleh. He's out there with Plumlee. Harkless is out there with Frazier. That's the group on the floor for Portland.
He has really punished these defenders today. No matter who's been on him, he's been giving them medicine.
He dishes it to Harkless. The 10-footer. The shot, no good. Good work defensively by Whiteside. Here's Dang. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
First personal foul.
And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Heat.
I thought we might see the defense adjust at halftime to slow the break, but that has not been the case.
Another factor here tonight has been the amount of points they've scored off turnovers.
Knocked away. And it's out of bounds. They say last touch by Dang. And it's out of bounds as the Portland Trail Blazers retain possession.
Oh, nice play there to get a hand on that pass and tip it out of bounds.
Just a whisker away from coming up with the steal there.
On defense, Miami. Pass to Frazier. He feeds it to Vonleh. 5 on the clock. Plumlee. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. Well, Greg, after a run of 10 playoff trips in 11 years, the Miami Heat missing the postseason last year, they'd end up a game back of the 8th spot.
Yeah, and what's hard for the Heat, Kevin, is that they were in the playoff picture for most of the year, and as the season wore on, they slowly fell out of that top 8.
You know, it's really hard not to notice the difference in the passing of these two teams today.
It's a stark discrepancy when you look at the assist columns and you see that difference as far as the fluidity in their respective offenses.
Here's Frazier. Buries it down low.
You know, guys, for the greater part of last season, it appeared as though the Heat were playoff bound. Even with the players they lost, most figured they would be playing postseason basketball.
Got that one up quick. And that's now 38 points for Goran Dragic.
And such a steady hand. I mean, he's one of those guys that's really allowed them to take the lead.
Well, he's just so reliable and dependable and consistent, especially here today. I mean, his shooting percentage is off the charts.
It's stolen by Dragic. And again, Miami running the court in transition. Near the three-point line, it's Wade. And another basket for Miami.
And one reason why the Heat did come up short in their playoff aspirations, they were very poor against other teams in the playoffs. So only went 15-31 against teams that had made it into the postseason last year.
Terrific design on the pick foot, and he lays it in.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Pretty clear, it's smash mouth basketball. Pound that thing inside.
The defense has just been unable to slow him down. Wow, what a game.
Plumlee with a screen on Dragic. Frazier kicks to Harkless. It's stolen by Dang. Fires the 3, and another 3 from Dragic. Dragic has got 44.
Just giving up way too many transition opportunities.
You know, it's okay to give up a few if you're getting them back on the other end, but that hasn't been the case here.
Floats one up, and it's Frazier getting it to go.
You know, he didn't need to make the layup complicated. I mean, it's not a trick shot contest, but he decided to go for a little extra flavor on that one.
Pass to Wade. And that's good. And it's Dragic with the assist. Dragic has got 6 assists now in the game. For Portland, they've gone 3 of 4 in field goal attempts since getting things started here in the 4th. Frazier kicks to Plumlee. And the foul called on Hassan Whiteside. So both teams making some changes here. A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the 4th. Ennis on the double team. Frazier the pass to Vonleh. Connects from three-point range.
He can be a forgotten man in their offense sometimes, but the D still has to keep an eye on him.
Here's Dragic from outside, and the Heat, another three.
They're in the position they're in right now, thanks in no small part to the show that he's putting on in this period.
Right wing, grab, dishes to Kaman. And some nice ball movement here by the Trailblazers. McCollum with the ball. Tried to come right back with the three of his own, but it's no good.
You know, so many games are decided by which team wins the rebound battle. And that's held true in this one so far.
And Clark, their effort on the glass has given them the advantage, but it's also been the effort in general that's made a difference.
Vonleh setting the pick for McCollum. High post try. And it's Miami. Miami with the rebound.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Heat.
I agree, Steve, and this is a game where the defense, Clark Steele specifically, generating a lot of opportunities.
And it created extra possessions for him too, Kevin. Scoring opportunities they cashed in on, and that effort a big part of what will be a nice victory tonight.
And what a huge standout performance it was for Goran Dragic. He was doing everything right, and the points came in bunches. Definitely had the hot hand. I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter, just served him up.
Now here's McCollum. Defense right on him. The wide open look here for Vonleh. Can't hit from 12.
Well, he's not necessarily a strong inside presence, but he needs to polish those chances off.
Took him no time at all on that one.
I don't want to say they're trying to run up the score here, but they do keep adding to the lead.
Well, I know you don't want to say it, but I will, partner. I mean, they're trying to run the score up here. It's plain and simple. They're trying to throw salt all in that wound.
Trap, good.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
And really no better feeling than to go on the road and play this well and get the win.
Yeah, it's always a good win when you play the kind of game they have played tonight. I mean, especially, though, when you get it done on the road. That's a special, special feeling there.
There's 18 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. And Miami can just let the clock run down here. Frazier against Dragic. Now here is Haslam. From about 19 feet, it's good.